What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and welcome to an all-new episode of All Hail the King. Can you even believe it? We're all the way up to episode 17. Now, just in case you didn't know, this is the corresponding video to a podcast segment. The segment pretty much details what the episode is going to contain, and you can catch it live every Tuesday on Twitch TV/The Helicarrier. It usually airs at 4 p.m. Eastern, but if you do miss it, you can still listen and download it at thehelicarrier.com. In fact, I will put a direct link to that podcast in the description below. Now, the team up for this video is going to be Thundra and Spiral. On my agent, I'm using the Tactician Empowered Armor and the Quick Empowered ISO 8. This grants snappy service, so buff actions that are not quick actions may be a quick action once a turn. This will help out with both the Asgardian Tankard and the Synthetic Cube. Now, moving on to Thundra, we're using the Close Empowered ISO 8 for street fighting, and then we are also using her character-specific Resolute Empowered ISO 8. That grants her Indomitable Spirit, suppresses most effects that prevent or remove buffs. Then on Spiral, we're also using her character-specific E-ISO, the Rhythmic Empowered ISO 8. This causes all dance actions to be available as a multi-action. Then secondly, we're using the Reflexive Empowered ISO 8 for Yukemi. That's going to give her some protection from scrappers and coordinated attacks. Now, another thing I do want you to note about Spiral is she has a chance to counterattack with Macabre Fandango. This ability causes pressure points on all the enemies and gives rising up to her allies. So if you were wondering what her connection is to Thundra, well, Thundra's biggest hit happens to have Finest Hour and Paragon Exploiter. So Macabre Fandango alone happens to be the perfect setup move for Thundra's Perfect Storm. But just in case she needs some help, we do have the Neurotrope as well. Then lastly, I'm using the Mystic for the Shroud, and that gives us some more early game survivability. It also causes obsolete tech, so it's a good counter for the Synthetic Cube. So now that the setup is out of the way, let's move on to our very first battle. It's going to be a pretty decent first test against Quicksilver and Psylocke. Pretty early on, we're going to find out that it is a Scrapper Quicksilver. That means Spiral's definitely in some extra danger. But luckily, we do have the Reflexive Empowered ISO 8, and that does cut down on the damage. After that, it's going to be Thundra's turn, so let's start out by using her level 9 Cyclone Smash. With her A-ISO, she'll actually start out with a Rolling Thunder, and then do her level 9 attack. In case you were wondering, it's the Tempestuous Augmented ISO 8, and you can find it in Chapter 4, Mission 5. And that's of course in Season 2. Now, the awesome thing about Thundra is she'll actually use Lightning Round as well against anyone who's a Protector or who has a shield. So that's right, she can get up to 3 hits on one attack. Cyclone Smash also has a chance to stun, so that's what you just witnessed. So now on Spiral's turn, we will use Macabre Fandango. The good news is, no matter what, Thundra is going to keep her buffs because of her character-specific E-ISO. So now let's see what the enemy agent does. First, he wastes time by using Party Time, and then normally the AI would use the Blackest Void, but this time he uses the Soul Drainer. This attack damages Spiral and also causes a follow-up tag team. Now on my agent's turn, I'm going to use the quick action item Neurotrope. Although it looks like that Macabre Fandango set up Thundra really well, still we're going to use this item, and if nothing else, it will set up a guaranteed crit. Not to mention combat awareness. Next, I'm going to use the Elixir of Recovery as a quick action, and then that gives us one more turn. So now we can still use the Blackest Void on the enemies and remove Mental Coordination. It also will take care of that shield and any quickness stacks. Placing Disoriented on the enemies is a pretty good idea as well, and it may save Spiral from that Quicksilver. And lastly, we're going to use the Mystic on Quicksilver, even though it would also be very good on their agent. The only thing about their agent is it's not even close to his attack, so I'll go ahead and wait. Quicksilver's first attack is a Blinding Punches on Thundra, and it doesn't do that much damage. Then you can see that Spiral got her passive, so she's going to dodge, then she'll counter with Macabre Fandango, and she gets an extra turn. That's pretty hard to beat. That's an amazing passive, and it's absolutely perfect for this team. With her free turn, we'll use a Sword Dance, and that does pretty nice damage, finishing Quicksilver. Now it's time for Thundra's big hit, the Perfect Storm. This has Finest Hour and Paragon Exploiter. I'm going to target their agent with this attack, and as long as it hits, there's no way it's going to make it to his turn. So here goes nothing, it's time for our first perfect storm of the video. The reason I don't target Psylocke is because the AI is probably going to waste her turn anyways. Okay, so Thundra's attack is going to do well over 150k. Psylocke uses a mental coordination even though she has no teammates, and with Spiral we're going to use her level 1 Cut Loose. This attack has deadly crits and high crits, and it's going to win the match. So now moving on to our second battle of the video, we're facing a Nico and Deadpool team. Now this is where our team up can show some versatility, because besides being able to deal some raw damage, especially with Thundra, we also are able to deal with dot teams because of Spiral. So we'll take a look at that in just one moment. Oh, and there you see a Dancing Queen proc once again, so we're going to dodge this attack, counter with Macabre Fandango setting up Thundra, and then we also get an extra turn. Here's where I'll show you exactly what you do against an enemy team that loves placing dots. But first, just to go over Macabre Fandango once again, it's going to place pressure points on the enemy, and then rising up on all allies. Then because of our rhythmic and powered ISO weight, we immediately have access to all the other dance abilities. But anyways, what we're going to do against Nico is move over to our level 2 ability called Flashbolt. Flashbolt is going to put Bane and Depower on the enemy. Now her actions will no longer apply statuses. You do have to keep applying it to maintain it, but it's really incredible and helps you deal with pretty much any situation. By the way, Deadpool was another character that I really considered using it on. So this was kind of a tough choice, but we know that Nico thrives on debuffs. Just think, if she uses more dots, it's not going to do anything. If you've noticed with our agent, we're doing pretty much the same thing that we did last match. And with our Mystic attack, we're going to target Deadpool. Unfortunately, it's not going to do that much damage. So now the enemy Deadpool is going to attack, and I'm hoping that he goes after anyone besides Thundra. Oh, but first he put Buggy on us, and he got a counterattack. Then he uses Bang Bang Bang, but he hits his own agent. That's pretty perfect for us, I'm not gonna lie. So then Thundra will go after their agent with the Cyclone Smash. Once again, due to her AI she'll use Rolling Thunder first. Now something really interesting is about to happen. She hits with her Rolling Thunder, but then Deadpool's Protect effect kicks in, so he takes a Cyclone Smash, and he's going to get Lightning Round. So that's pretty cool how it splits up those attacks, but it also illustrates how we can deal with pretty much any situation with this team. We have the damage, so the raw numbers are taken care of. Then we have the power to deal with dots. But that's not all, we also have Thundra who deals with protects and shields. Now that's a well-rounded team if you ask me. Okay, and after using the Light Fantastic, we do clear Buggy, and now we're going to use our Tactician and Powered Armor ability. This actually wasn't necessary because Nico is a blaster, but that's okay. It will allow us to focus on Deadpool, so we'll hit him with a Mystic and make that a double. So now with Deadpool out of the picture, we just have to finish off Nico. Unfortunately, we will have to do it twice. Let's go ahead and pull out a Perfect Storm, and it looks like it's going to do just short of enough damage. Then Nico's going to stun Spiral, so that's going to waste her turn, and now it's time for our agent once again. It's kind of annoying how Nico prolongs the battle all by herself. In fact, it may take longer to beat her than to beat the rest of the team. This is where something like the Hand of Apocalypse really comes in handy. But anyways, while we wait on her to go ahead and resurrect so we can finish her off again, I will let you know there's going to be one more match in this video. Oh, and you know what? I was going to pass on Thundra's turn, but we might as well use Rolling Thunder. It has Rising Up, so it will help out with our next Perfect Storm. That is, if we get a chance to use it, which in all honesty we may not. Now it looks like the enemy Nico is going to use more dots, and Spiral will counterattack. So here comes a Cut Loose, and then on her turn we're going to use the Macabre Fandango. I guess we may as well try to set up Thundra for one more big hit. Then on my agent's turn I'm going to use the Neurotrope once again, followed by the Elixir of Recovery. At the end of it I figured I'd use the Mystic to take Nico down as low as possible. But you know what, I did have a bad feeling about this, and I end up being proven right. After all my preparation, I'm going to use the Mystic, and it's actually going to do more than 39k. You know what, sometimes that happens though. You go for a perfect setup, and then it ends up being ruined. So yeah, we're going to have to do one more match to make up for it. This one happens to have quite a few protectors, so you're going to see that passive from Thundra kick in. By the way, even though they have protectors, we can still target and hit their agent with the Rolling Thunder. Then with the actual Cyclone Smash, it will be protected against. Hopefully we can get that stun on Captain America, and then we will follow it up with a Lightning Round. I think the way this works is really interesting, and it can definitely be used to your advantage. But anyways, with Spiral, we're going to use our Flash Bolt on Deadpool. The great thing about this ability, besides the power, is the fact that it actually does good damage as well. There, not so much, but whenever she's buffed up, it definitely does. The Neurotrope will certainly help out with this damage, and then we're going to use the Elixir Recovery once again. Remember, besides giving us an extra turn, it also enrages Thundra and gives Spiral combat reflexes. So all in all, it's a pretty nice quick action to have. But yes, it's only a quick action because of the Tactician Empowered costume and the Quick Empowered ISO 8. Now this time we are going to hit the enemy agent with the Mystic. It knocks him out and stops him from getting his turn. Then with Thundra's turn, we're going to use Perfect Storm on Deadpool. Since he's a protector, we'll also get a Lightning Round follow-up. This is going to trigger Deadpool's resurrection effects, and he's barely alive. Then the enemy Captain America is next to act. He has disoriented, so he hits his own Deadpool with a shield bash. Now I think it's time we showed Spiral's last ability, Time Spiral. That's going to take out Captain America and finish the match. That's going to be it for this week's All Hail the King episode. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, good luck, and take care.